this is like the inaugural kickoff, and I'm just super excited because like I know like with the way this works, like these things will just compound, and like I'll just be really looking forward to every week coming here and like bringing up, hopefully bringing up awesome guests and having great conversations. So I'm super excited for what this can become, just especially over many months. I think we could uh, create a lot of value and tell a lot of really cool stories here, and just share like Adam, White Rabbit, and I and Medved. We're all like super passionate about historical NFTs. I'm sure everyone here is pretty passionate about historical NFTs. So that's what we're doing. Like we love historical NFTs. There's so many rich, great stories to tell, and that's what we're gonna do here. I don't know, Adam or Medved, if you guys want to kind of add anything to that.
Yeah, I think, we're on the same page, and I think a lot of people in the historical NFT space, which is, not a very large group of people, we're all in the same discords. We all have the same bag of NFTs, right? We all believe in historic NFTs, and we're small, right? And I think we have to kind of pull ourselves together as a group, even though you may like V1 Punks and I like Skulls and he likes curio cards and I like, whatever the mix is. I think it's really time we support all these old projects, and I think that's what we're doing, right? And it gets to this idea of telling these stories, and there are so many stories to tell. Yeah, I was joking, I think, with you, Leo. It's like, man, if we only do one show a week, bro, we're gonna barely touch 50 stories in the year. That's just not enough, right? We need to do more, and start telling these stories. Obviously, Coinbase is happening very soon. People are going to start flooding in now, and so I think it's really important that the entire NFT, historical NFT community begin telling these stories. And I think it kind of starts right here in Twitter Spaces. It starts on podcasts and kind of goes out from there. And so I'm super excited about it. And what a one to start with here. I mean, this gets into like all the nitty gritties of historical NFTs, which have been so fascinating for me over the past years. Punks, V1 Punks, man, this is where the rubber hits the road, right? This is really, really cool stuff. And I think how we as a community decide on these sort of projects and in reality decide on value over the longer period of time is going to kind of be the way the world moves. And so I think it's really cool that we start, today's opening kickoff episode is V1 Punks. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I'll just jump in and say I'm really excited to be launching the NFT history space. We're going to do this an NFT Now every Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Pacific, with Adam, Leonidas, and White Rabbit when he can join us. He's got Australian time, so sometimes that's a little more difficult. But I think they did a great job of setting the stage. But it's just something that's important to us. When we look at like NFT Now's Twitter Space programming, we've got like NFT Right Now every Thursdays, which is sort of like our general open town hall forum, conversation highlighting different projects in space. We've got One of One, our photography space Tuesdays with Dave Krugman and Jan Silva, and we've got the Green Room, our music one, on Friday. And I was like, it feels like we need a dedicated space for historical NFTs, because aside from my own great interest in them, and I love like learning from Leonidas, Adam, White Rabbit, and many others in the historical NFT community. I think you nailed the head. Hit the nail on the head when you said that there are just so many newcomers coming into the space right now, and I think it's really important that as newcomers are joining, they get an appreciation for where we've been, so that we can really build where we're going. And so, I feel like one with NFT history. There'll be different topics, different speakers, different guests, driven by Leonidas, Adam, and White Rabbit. Super excited to launch this with them, and really excited to kind of create a dedicated place within the NFT Now family for these conversations to take place, because I think we've seen over the past month, and obviously even earlier, but especially over the past month, the start of the year, that historical NFTs are a really integral and exciting part of the market, and also I think that an absolutely like vital thing for newcomers to understand as they start to navigate. And so that's one of the best things about the blockchain, is that the history is right there, right in front of us if we know where to look. And so without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to those two who know where to look way better than almost anyone else, Leonidas, Adam, and very excited to get White Rabbit involved here next week. So.
Yeah, thanks for this opportunity, MedVed and NFT Now. This is like a great platform. I'm just super excited. Like you kind of, again, I'll just second what you said. Like Adam and I and like White Rabbit and like I'm seeing so many faces in here from the archaeology and NFT, historical NFT discords. We could all just hang out together and have a good time till the end of our days. And, no one would ever bother us or notice us. But like ultimately, we do want to share what we're working on and share like these really awesome stories and really awesome assets and history that I think is genuinely important to understand, because I mean, just what we're going to discuss tonight, it's a topic that's so much bigger than just like specifically even CryptoPunks. This is something that probably will play out like thousands and thousands of more times, and like, obviously not the exact same fashion that this happens in, but just the question of how do you determine provenance? How do you weight one voice over another voice? How do you let free markets decide value? How does IP come into play? These are all questions that we're going to dig into tonight, and I think these are questions the NFT space and probably like literally our entire civilization is going to have to. I mean, these things are all going to come to a head at some point, and it's interesting that we're starting to see some of these things bubble up already in such a big way. To be honest, we're going to dig into V1 Punks here in a sec, but I also want to just preface and say this is not a unique situation at all. Adam and I are like basically living the same thing over for the 5th time now.
It's fucking Groundhog Day, brother. It's literally Groundhog Day.
We've had this happen with Etheria, Crypto Cats, Ether Rock, and Crypto Jingles, all almost identical situations where there's a contract that is considered legitimate and buyers are like buying it because it's like said to be the legitimate one, and which totally makes sense. Like the artist, this is the contract that they're working off of, and then for whatever reason there was a test contract, a bug contract, some contract that came before that archaeologists dig up, and you get this situation, and it's a super fascinating situation that just brings all of these really, really interesting questions to light, and there is no correct answer. And I'll just preface that, like, these are all just kind of our opinions. Like, I'm certainly, I hold quite a few V1s, so I like definitely take everything that I say with a grain of salt. Everyone up here, we really love, after we kind of go through the history here in a sec, to bring up different opinions and just kind of, we have the word debate here. It's more just like have a conversation and just give people an opportunity to talk about their feelings on this, because there's so many people coming from so many different angles. So yeah, that's what we're going to do here. But yeah, without further ado, we have Hemba, who is arguably the most core piece to the story of the V1 CryptoPunks. So welcome up, Hemba.
Thank you so much, Leonidas and Adam and MedVed, for this. Very excited, very tired. You picked a fantastic day for this, didn't you?
The best, man. The best. You're on calls with lawyers, I'm sure, all day long. So this is a perfect day for you, man.
I think Hemba's been up since 5 a.m. and it's now 3 a.m. where he is. So, and it's not like he had a kickback, lazy day either. So, yeah, Hemba, so glad you're here. Could you kind of just like, for maybe like, I don't know, just 5 or 10 minutes, like walk people through, get into the nitty gritty details, and just like take us back to that moment in time right before the Larva Labs had launched CryptoPunks. Where was your head at? And then kind of walk us through that journey of what happened. And if we want to pause and talk about it a little bit, I'll leave that up to you. But I think it's a really interesting story that, just in a world of Twitter where you can just read a little tweet and make up your mind on something, I think it's often forgotten to like go to the source who's actually the core to the story and hear what they have to say, and just at least hear that person out and get their side of the story and their facts. So I want to give you some time here to do that, and I'll kind of let you run with that how you want to, and just kind of we're kind of here to service you in that respect, Hemba. So I'll let you kind of tell your story here.
Okay, thank you. And hey, you got to stop me if I talk too much, because I've got a habit of doing that. You know, Frank will jump in and tell me too. But where was I back then? This was middle 2017. At this point, I was doing OTC. I got into crypto through darknet, wanting to buy certain things on the internet. That's how I got into it. I realized there was an opportunity for OTC, which is basically trading cryptocurrency for cash or transfers, and vice versa. I stumbled upon an article by Mashable dated the 17th or the 18th of June 2017 talking about these CryptoPunks. And I was so enthralled, so amazed. I scrolled through halfway through the page and realized I needed this. So I was reading these instructions on, okay, go to My Ether Wallet, go to Contract Interaction. You've got a list of commands you can use. There's the Get Punk command. Okay, they're all free. So there's a list of, it's not even a list, it's a picture of all 10,000 on the screen in front of you. And they're all different colors indicating whether they've already been claimed or whether they're yet to be claimed. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, yeah, this is how we do this. This was the first time I've ever interacted with a smart contract. So first I start by going, yeah, cool, that's a nice punk. 4527, tap it in, get punk, transaction comes up, approve. Okay, I did that 10, 15, 20 times. Then I realized that was too slow. I needed more, I needed faster. So I started going sequentially. 4527, 4528, 4529, bang, 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 bang. I kept going, got to 100, got to 200. At some point, I remember calling a friend and getting really excited and saying, oh, I need all of them. I'm doing my best. I was shaking. And I kept going, more and more and more. I could see at the time there was a live chat and, people were sort of racing each other and pumping each other on. Keep going, more and more. At some point, I could have slept. I don't know. But it was a long bit of claiming. Eventually, I get 1,040 or so, which was more than the developers managed to mint for themselves. So I was pretty pleased with myself, but still I wanted some more. So they turned on the website. They finally activated the contract to let us start trading in these once all 10,000 were gone. Because remember, this Mashable article, this came out about a week after the contract was actually published. And by the time that Mashable article came out, it was a serious race. 50% were already claimed, and all the rare ones were already gone. So it was a serious race. And there's actually a graphic that somebody's done charting what happened. And you can see the time of that article. After that, everything was gone very, very quickly. So anyway, it gets turned on. We're able to start trading these. So people start throwing up asks on the market, offers to sell 1F, half an F, 0.1 F. At the time, F was around $300 a piece. This was June the 18th, 2017. So there I am, with 1,050 or so, and I'm trying to buy more. So I just start, tapping away on the marketplace, buy a couple more, and in the course of buying, I see there's another command that says withdraw, and that's awesome. I want to withdraw. What can I withdraw? I want to try it. I'd already done over 1,000 transactions, so what the hell is another one? The transactions back then were not very expensive, 10 cents, 15 cents kind of thing. So you could just keep doing them, not worry. I probably spent over $500 on all of my transactions, 1,500 transactions. So I hit the withdraw button after buying my punk, and I realized I got some ETH back. And that's really strange. I looked at Etherscan, I tried to figure out what was going on. So I did it again. I bought another one, hit the withdraw button, got the money back. Cool. So there was we now know this happened 82 times, and I was 69 of them for the culture. 82 exploited punks, I got 69 of them. And that was everything that was listed there, all the way up to, I think, 250 ETH for the most expensive. So I smack that 250 ETH as quick as possible. I've got the withdrawal and I pay $5 in gas, a monumental amount. And I get my 250 ETH back, which at the time would have been worth, say, $80,000. And there I am with 1,133 or so, 1,120. By this point, the devs realized something was wrong. People in the chat realized something was wrong. They were in real time watching their free punks disappear. So we were then told, hey, do not sell your punks, emergency, be careful. And everyone was just sort of a bit, yeah, okay. They were free. Okay, let's just see what happens. I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll just go back to our day jobs, right? So it continued on. A day, 2 days later, I think it was, we see some activity happening in the background. A new contract was published, and subsequent to that, all of the punks that people had claimed were airdropped back to those claimants. So it was as if it never happened. Prior to the marketplace being switched on and these transactions taking place, both legitimate and illegitimate, we just spun it back. Everyone was back to normal again. And for some, that was excellent because they could sort of rethink their decisions about listing or selling. For others, it was, okay, fantastic, this is my opportunity to sell the bottom. And you can see some people during that time in the first few weeks really sold the bottom. Back then we were excited about a sale for $50 or $100. The market was active, but it just slowly dwindled away as attention sort of pulled away from these. And there it sat, CryptoPunks V2, CryptoPunks V1, sat there in the background. Nobody paid really any attention to it. All of the claimants knew it was there, but there weren't many claimants back then. It was 100 and, I've heard 113, 130 original claimants around there. It just sat in the background. And we knew about this story, and perhaps day by day more people knew about this story, but it really wasn't until, say, 2020, 2021, where this story started spreading. And every so often someone would say, hey, so what happened with the exploit? What happened with the bug? What happened with these V1s? It stayed sort of an open secret. This little bastard child that we don't talk about that's locked in the basement. Until now, we're on Spaces with 1,000 people or however many will be here, and we're all talking about this bastard child because we all want to get one. Or we hate this bastard child and we don't want to talk about it at all. We wish it could be dead and buried. We wish we could take it down from these marketplaces. So I'm so happy to be able to share the story.
One question, Hemba. I know this one. I've heard this story now twice, and the first time I heard it, my initial reaction was, yeah, you were exploiting a contract. But did you feel? I mean, for me, immediately my gut immediately goes to, oh, you're actually, you know what you're doing. You're basically stealing, right, somebody's NFT at that time. So, I mean, was there any thought of that at that time for you, or are you just of the mindset that like code is law and that's kind of the way it is, and so that's just your kind of method of operation, or what were you? Did you ever have that? Did that ever cross your mind at that time?